like, this is really happening. Oh my God. Oh my God. The angel Gabriel, he was always joyful, happy, like had this excitement to like be of service. He was so happy. He was serving a purpose to glorify God, to fulfill God's will with one of his children. And he was, basically there, teaching me, trying to show me, trying to talk to me, trying to get me to understand what you're doing here. The reverence that the hosts of heaven give each other is so beautiful and loving and pure. Like everybody recognizes each other as royalty because you are of God. Next thing I know, I'm seeing this doorway, and this doorway was huge doorway, open doorway, no door, no nothing. It was just this huge doorway, arched doorway. And there's people coming in. There's lines of people going out and lines of people going in. It's like a busy line, assembly line of people going in and out. And so now I'm turned back around. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm noticing that people are bringing out plates and cups and silverware. And now I'm seeing this table. Now there's a table. This table was so beautiful. It was like, the color of it was like cherry mahogany wood. And there were chairs on both sides of the table. And the first person I seen was this older man, this older gentleman. But he did not look old. But I knew him to be older. Like he was an older man. Like if I had to put an age on it, it was like he was like 75, 80, something like that. But he looked really young. But I understood it to be wisdom was his age. That's how I can put it. Wisdom was his age. He was sitting at the table, and these people were bringing out plates and silverware and cups. And then the next person I saw that was coming towards the table was this little girl. She was probably around between the age of, I'll say 9 or 10, something like that. And she was smiling, and she was bringing out this plate, and she set this stack of plates, and she started putting them on the ends of the table. And she's looking at me, smiling really big. And she communicates to me, we're having a party. And I said, y'all having a party? I was like so amped up there, right? I'm like, y'all having a party? I want to come. And the voice of the Father, he was standing behind me. And the only thing that he said to me was, not yet. He said, not yet. Didn't have no type of biblical reference, understanding of what I was actually looking at. I'm like, they about to have a party. Like, maybe I've been brought here for the party, for the party. It's about to be on, it's about to be lit, right? And so the next thing I know is, I'm like, what's that on the table? Because now I'm seeing details on the table. Now I'm focusing on the details. Now I'm like, it's a party. What's going on? What kind of party is this? So then I see that there's baskets lining the middle of this table, this banquet table. It's long. This table was beautiful. I understood and had the knowledge that God, he crafted this table. This was made by the Father, this table. And in the middle of the table, there were baskets, basket after basket after basket. And I was like, oh my God, it's bread. All this bread. And I said, and I knew that the baskets ran the entire length of the table. So I looked down to see how long this table went for. And again, this table went for miles. It went past from what I was allowed or permitted to see, because again, I saw that glory cloud at a certain point where I wasn't allowed to see past. And so I was like, this is so many cheers, so much bread. And when I looked into the bread basket, I noticed that all of these breads that were in each basket were like different. They were like, you would have like a pumpernickel bread and banana bread and wheat bread and an Italian loaf. It was like different breads in each basket. And I thought that was strange. I was like, huh. And it was like almost immediately when I pondered on that thought about the bread, when I was looking at the bread, the Lord said, it was the voice of God standing behind me. He said, there aren't two pieces of bread alike. Each one is different in itself. Oh my God, that blew my mind. He said that. I said, oh my God, you mean to tell me there is somebody back there baking all this bread? Oh my God. And I started jumping up and down, praising God, screaming at the top of my lungs. I could not believe that it was so much bread. I understood that it ran the entire length of this table, this banquet table. They're about to have a party. This banquet table goes for miles and miles and miles past what I can see. And I can see miles and miles as it already is. Then you mean to tell me each bread basket runs the entire length of this table. And you mean to tell me there's somebody back there, somebody is baking one piece of bread so that everybody can have their own piece of bread. Remember when I said the angel was explaining things to me, and he said what I was going to see and what I would hear, it is already written in the Word of God. So that banquet table, I was seeing the marriage supper of the Lamb. So I was seeing that, and I was seeing the bread baskets that represent Jesus, the bread of life. Jesus, the Word of God, is the bread of life. And for each of us, his word is he wants a relationship with each of us, where everyone is as individuals are unique in ourselves, and he wants that individual relationship with us through the word, right?